How would your life change if I took fear out of the equation? Good morning, folks. Coach Daryl Johnson here. I am doing a little mic video test. I want to use this opportunity to ask a question. And the question is, how would your life change if I could take fear out of the decision-making process? Now, I don't mean this is some kind of a mystical, metaphysical thing. I'm thinking like if you had the ability to make decisions without having tons of fear interfere with the logic and the outcomes and the potential scenarios, how would that change your life? Like, for example, when I go out in public, I don't have a great fear for my safety. I'm also aware of the fact that it's always a possibility that something bad may happen, but I don't worry about being attacked. I don't worry about somebody, being physically aggressive. And I'm also very aware of that possibility. So I keep my eyes open and I look at the situation and I evaluate a room, a building, scenario. It's just training. And that's the training that I do for my clients. I don't fear of dropping dead from a lifestyle disease anytime soon. As you get into your adulthood, you start, especially with social media being so easy to see what's going on in the world. You hear about, Kevin, the guy I went to high school with, dropped dead at 42. Jessica, the girl that I, worked with at my first job when I was 21, she passed away from cancer at, age, 39. So this becomes a real thing. When you're 22, these kind of things really don't enter your mind. But as you get into adulthood, the fear of health and wellness becomes a real issue. So, and then there's the fear, and I think this is probably the most important one, the fear of what happens in a crisis. What happens if your life is turned upside down? If you lose a long time career, you're downsized, you're replaced by technology. You've invested a life with a partner, a wife, a husband, and things just go sideways in the most horrible way possible. And now you're starting all over again. Or maybe you don't see your children like you'd like, or maybe you have a family fallout, and the people that you grew up with your whole life, maybe you don't talk to anymore. Maybe you do have a health crisis. How are you going to handle that kind of mental anxiety, that fear, that crushing doubt? So this is the kind of things that I've spent my whole career helping people get over. And I'm really excited about doing more of this, specifically handling the fear side. And so hopefully you guys enjoy this microphone video test, and I hope it brings value to you. But I want to ask you this question. How would your life change if I took fear out of the equation? Would you make more money? Would you have better relationships? Would you do things that you thought were impossible or you thought were impractical? Stew on that. You guys have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.